Hey guys, in case you followed some of my content and wondered to yourself, who the hell is this guy and why should I listen to anything he has to say? I wanted to come on and share a little bit of my personal story and talk about how I got to where I am today. Going all the way back, I was born in a small town in South Dakota called Watertown. But we actually moved from there when I was really young. I think I was like 4 or something. So I've spent most of my childhood and my teenage years in Tempe, Arizona. And that's where I began playing sports at the age of 9. This was my life for many years. I was obsessed with sports. I was always playing something, pretty much all the time. I really loved football and basketball the most, and in high school I started running track, and that actually became my favorite sport. Out of high school, I kind of stopped playing sports. I was just kind of burnt out and lost interest. I got really into weight training, and I spent a ton of time at the gym from about the age of 18 until about 22. However, one thing I never really considered during these times and before that was my nutrition. I always thought that I could eat whatever I wanted and drink as much as I wanted, as long as I was working out and active. So I began to take an interest in nutrition in my mid-20s, but I really wasn't that invested. I continued drinking pretty heavily off and on, and at times lost interest in fitness altogether. Fast forward through my 20s, I had a son at age 24 and I was just working full time with really no direction. After having my son, I decided I wanted to get back into school. So I enrolled back in college and I got my teaching degree. And that's when I started teaching physical education. Through my first few years, I continued to fall into the trap of thinking that as long as I was active, I really didn't need to worry too much about what I was eating and drinking. Throughout this time, however, I was stressed out, I had low energy, and I even had a minor health scare. Unfortunately, this wasn't enough to make me change my ways. So I continued this lifestyle for many more years. Then for a few years, I was an administrator and was mostly working at a desk. So I went from extremely active to sedentary pretty quickly. I put on some weight, but honestly, I was okay with that because I was always the skinny guy, and it felt kind of good to have some weight on me. At least mentally it did. Fast forward to age 42. I went to the doctor and got some routine blood work done. A few days later, I got a call from the doctor saying that my test results showed that I was diabetic. This was a kick in the teeth for sure. I blamed myself. I thought it was my fault for the lifestyle I'd been living all these years. And because of my age, the doctor just assumed that it was type 2 diabetes. Without getting into too much detail, the doctor was not much help at all. So I decided then and there that I was going to take care of this myself. And I think this is something important for people to know about me because people always say things to me like, you're so motivated, you're so disciplined, or you just have it all together. How do you do it? And they just think I'm this person who's just driven. But the truth is, I take such good care of myself because I'm scared. I'm scared of what this disease can do to me, of the complications that could arise if I don't take great care of myself. I'm scared of not being here for my grandkids. So I became obsessed with nutrition and fitness, and for several years I had my diabetes completely under control, without even medication or anything, just diet and exercise. Through this journey, I realized how much I enjoyed helping others in their fitness, and I began doing some personal training on the side. I was working with some of the teachers at my school. Then, a couple of years ago, I began coaching others online, and I really fell in love with the online coaching business. As I built my client load, I was still teaching full time and also noticing my diabetes wasn't under as much control as it was before. After a few months of this, I put the business on hold to focus on my own health. After several doctor's visits and through working with a coach myself, we discovered that I had been misdiagnosed as type 2 diabetic and was actually type 1. And this means that I would eventually need to use insulin to keep my diabetes under control. I've now been on insulin for a few months, and I'm happy to report that I am back in control of this disease, which means I'm able to focus again on helping others in their health and fitness journey. I've been certified as a personal trainer and also a nutrition coach. My hobby is actually literally learning more about wellness and finding as many ways as I can to optimize my health and the health of others. This is what I do for fun. I truly believe that my purpose in life is to help others to become as healthy as they possibly can and to teach them how to do this for a lifetime. Anyway, thanks for listening to my story, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or if you need help.